Alright everyone, we start off today talking about the Capitol riot and the investigation into it that now I guess isn't going to happen. A handful of Republicans did cross the line to vote for it, but they fell short of the majority that they needed because Joe Manchin exists and there's a filibuster. And so naturally the Democrats are like, well, the GOP wants rioting and insurrection. They want the government to be overthrown. They don't want to investigate because they're culpable. And Mitt Romney and a few others, of course, they cucked. They took the knee and crossed over. They should all be primaried out, by the way, gotten rid of. Anyway, first and foremost, there will be links down below in a pinned comment if you're watching this on YouTube. Keep in mind, I make 4 videos a day, only 2 now go on YouTube. I disincentivize it because YouTube keeps abusing me as a creator. After years and years of loyalty and hard work, basically every independent maker of videos has been thrown under the bus. Most people now streaming or uploading elsewhere. So links in the description. Links down below again. Now, link in the description as well. Archived, of course, to this story. It was so funny the other day watching Democrats melting down in the wake of this vote. Oh my God, there was an insurrection at the Capitol and the Republicans don't want to investigate it. Now, think about the underlying premise. The underlying premise is the idea of an unbiased, bipartisan investigation. How is it going to be unbiased and bipartisan? Most Republicans don't believe in investigating it, as you saw, and those that do are a bunch of never-Trumpers. Who do you think they will blame for the insurrection at the Capitol months ago? Well, it's a foregone conclusion what the conclusion would be. That's the problem. So there's really no reason to play that game. And this has been the problem with Republicans. This is the problem with the Romneys and the Liz Cheneys and so forth. They keep trying to beat the Democrats at their own game. This is why they lose. They're literally losers. Most Republicans have been cowards for a very long time. Now you've finally got a crop of a handful of Republicans that don't continuously cede territory, that don't continuously back down, led by Trump, of course, a leader in exile, basically. And the rest of the Republicans, they don't understand it because they're used to the idea, the tactic of losing with grace and bow solemnly with a slight smile and recede back into the dark back pages of history. This is what the Democrats have told them they're supposed to do. And by and large, the Romneys and Cheneys and so forth, they listen to them. Basically, a Republican is allowed to have power if they act like a Democrat light. And even then, they're constantly called racist, sexist, homophobic, evil. That they're called extreme. Then you have Republicans show up that don't play that game anymore, and all of a sudden it's a big problem. Now, is Trump responsible for what happened in D.C. at the Capitol? No, absolutely not. This is an objective reality. You can look exactly at what Trump said at the end of his speech, which didn't coincide with the riot at all. That happened slightly after. He told people to go home. Specifically, go home with love in your hearts. That's not an insurrection. That's not a call to riot. It's not even a call for a protest. It's telling people to go home. Some people in that crowd, which was many tens of thousands of people, a few thousand splintered off and attacked the Capitol. And I use the term attacked in a loose manner because only a handful of the people there were involved in any form of property damage, let alone violence. In fact, one of the casualties that day was a person who wasn't engaged in any particular criminal behavior other than basic trespass, which is Ashley Babbitt, who got shot by one of the Capitol police officers. It's interesting because you hear all cops are bastards thing from the left, but they finally found some police that they like. Specifically, they like police when they're killing Trump fans. Now, isn't that very, very interesting? They're not interested in reform. They're interested in weaponizing the state against their political opponents. Very dangerous precedent set by such behavior, by the way. Swords always cut 2 ways. They can be used to stab the wielder. But I applaud the majority of the Senate GOP for having common sense. And the majority, but it should have been unanimous. They should have just rolled their eyes. They should have said, what do you expect us to investigate? We already know what happened. We know what happened at the Capitol. We know the events prior to that. We know that some people showed up to provocate. And we know that Trump didn't provoke anything because we literally heard the same goddamn speech. Some of the people were there listening to him. What's there to investigate? The only purpose of the investigation would be to drag it out in the news cycle, to constantly hammer into the public's consciousness, Trump bad, Orange Man bad, and these Republicans stand with him. Matt Gaetz is a terrible person. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a horrible person. And Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney and W and people like that, they're good people. They're patriotic. No, they're not. They're a bunch of fucking ineffectual warmongering asshats. See, there's the problem. This is, again, why I can't be Republican, because you have people like that in the party. Sometimes people have criticized me and said, well, Sticks, because he's a millennial, Sticks talks too much about W. He's still there. He's not dead. And he's brain dead, but he's still there. And he informs a segment of the political party known as the Republicans. A section of the party is basically that, or Mitt Romney or any of these other losers. Then you have a small libertarian core, like the Tea Party crossover, and then you have Trump's MAGA Republican populism. And those are the good parts of the party, the ones that don't constantly either cuck or propose stupid shit, the ones that actually got something done. Trump, which is why I would definitely vote for him again if he runs in 2024, got things done. It's the first time since first-term Reagan that we've had a president that actually walked the walk and didn't just talk the talk. If you listen to Obama or W or Herbert Walker or Clinton or even second-term Reagan, they said a lot of the same things fucking Trump said when he was campaigning. It's just they never did any of these things. They all rambled about the need for more border security. Even Biden did. Biden brought it up in a lukewarm manner because the Democrats have gone off a far-left lemming-like cliff, so he couldn't bring it up too much. He had to pretend to be progressive or whatever the hell that means. There was no insurrection at the Capitol. There's nothing to investigate. I would note that the same people that want to investigate that and run it into the ground say very, very little about the literally billions and billions of dollars of damage and dozens of people dead as the result of the race riots the prior year. And they don't call it race riots, by the way. They call it protests against police brutality. There's a whole fucking wiki page on it that's so heavily sanitized and so often fucking la-la land with lies by omission, it's basically not even, there's no point to the article even existing. Of course, it's protected against edits by the public. I wonder fucking why. Literally every juicy page at this point is, just look up cultural Marxism on Wikipedia if you want to get a quick laugh. That's about all. Peace out.